Okay, so get this, you sent us this info on an Amazon mini fridge,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like your typical, like dorm room cooler.
Yeah.
This one has a lock.
Wow.
It even says specifically in the title, Freightliner Cascadia drivers.
Interesting.
What is that all about?
Well, the Freightliner Cascadia is a pretty common model of semi-truck.
Oh,
So it seems like this mini fridge is specifically targeted towards long-haul truck drivers.
ooh, that makes sense.
Really makes you think about like the needs of people who are
Yeah.
living and working on the road,
Absolutely. And so we have a lockable mini fridge for truck drivers.
Right.
We've got all the details, product descriptions, tech specs, everything.
We got it all. Yeah.
So what jumps out at you from all this info?
Well, I think if we look even beyond the features, this product is kind of like a larger trend
Okay,
of like portable self-contained living.
I see.
Think about like van life or remote work or even just like extended road trips.
Yeah.
People want to like bring the comforts of home with them wherever they go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know?
And in that context, a lockable mini fridge makes a lot more sense.
Exactly.
It's not just about keeping your drinks cold.
Right.
It's about having a secure personal space
Totally.
for your food, especially when you might be sharing a vehicle or a campsite or something.
Yeah, it's like a little mobile pantry.
Yeah,
It gives people a sense of control and security over their food no matter where they are.
I like that. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So we're seeing this theme of portability and personal space.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's get into some of the specifics.
Okay.
This mini fridge runs on both 12 VDC and 110 VAC.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the significance of that?
Well, that dual power capability is super important for portability.
Okay.
You can plug it into your car's power outlet while you're driving, and then when you stop, you can seamlessly switch to a standard outlet.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to worry about like ice packs or your snacks getting warm or anything.
That's super convenient.
Yeah, it is.
So speaking of the features, it uses something called absorption refrigeration.
Yeah.
Can you break that down for us a little?
Sure. So most fridges use compressors,
Mm-hmm.
which can be noisy and they use a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But absorption refrigeration uses a heat-driven process,
Okay.
which means it's a lot quieter
Oh,
and it's incredibly energy efficient.
wow.
So it's perfect for small spaces and vehicles.
So you're telling me this thing is whisper quiet and it barely uses any power?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
And there's more. It also uses NH3 refrigerant, which is ammonia.
Okay.
It's natural, and it's much better for the environment than the traditional refrigerants that are usually used in fridges.
Oh, wow. So it's good for the planet, too.
Exactly.
That's really impressive. It seems like they've really thought of like everything here, the function and sustainability.
I think so, yeah. And I think that combination is becoming more and more important to people.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, people want products that align with their values.
Absolutely.
And this mini fridge seems to do that. It does. Now, I did notice one detail in the instructions that I thought was interesting.
Okay.
It says you have to let the fridge stand upright for 12 hours before you plug it in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, what's the reasoning behind that?
So that's really important for absorption refrigerators
Okay.
because during shipping, the refrigerant can kind of shift and settle.
Oh, I see.
So letting it stand upright lets everything flow back to where it's supposed to be,
Right.
and that prevents damage to the system.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah, it's important.
I'm starting to realize there's a lot more to mini fridges than I thought.
There really is.
Yeah.
It really is fascinating stuff.
Yeah, and it's not just about the product itself,
Right.
but also how it reaches people, right?
Mhm.
This is sold on Amazon.
Yeah.
What does that tell us?
Well, for one thing, it shows this growing trend of e-commerce and this increasing demand for like very specific products.
Oh.
People aren't limited to just what's at their local store anymore.
Right.
They can go online and find exactly what they need.
Yeah.
And platforms like Amazon make that possible.
It's like this whole world of products,
It is.
at your fingertips.
Exactly.
Speaking of specific needs, this mini fridge has a 1.4 cubic foot capacity.
Okay.
So how much can you actually fit in there?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It may seem small, but 1.4 cubic feet is actually pretty spacious for a mini fridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could easily store like several days worth of groceries.
Wow.
Drink snacks enough to last you on a long road trip
Okay.
or like a week of camping.
So it's bigger than it seems.
Yeah, deceptively roomy.
I like that.
Mm.
So what about other features?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any must-haves that we should be looking for?
Definitely.
When choosing any mini fridge?
Yeah, first you got to think about your needs.
Okay.
Like, will you be using it mainly for drinks?
Right.
Or do you need space for food?
Yeah.
How important is portability to you? Will you be moving it around a lot?
Yeah, you don't want something too bulky.
Exactly.
What about noise level and energy efficiency?
Oh, those are super important,
Okay.
especially if you're using it in a small space or like a vehicle
Right.
where noise could be a problem.
Yeah.
But look for models with low decibel ratings and energy efficient features,
Okay.
especially if you care about the environment.
Of course. And then there's budget.
Always.
What's the price range for a good quality mini fridge?
Well, they can range from under $100 to several $100s.
Wow, okay.
It depends on the size, the features, the brand.
Right.
It's easy to get caught up in all the fancy features.
Yeah.
But really, you just need to choose one that meets your needs
Makes sense.
and fits your budget.
Right.
Don't be afraid to shop around.
Good advice.
Yeah.
And read those online reviews.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's so helpful.
They can tell you things that you wouldn't know just from the product description.
Yeah, like durability or how easy it is to clean.
Exactly. Or even like what the customer service is like.
Yeah, you want to know all of that?
Yeah.
Now, there's one detail in the product description that I found interesting.
Okay.
It says that the lock helps prevent food from falling during RV transit.
Right?
That implies that it's meant to be used while the vehicle's moving,
That's a good point.
which is not typical for a mini fridge, right?
No, most mini fridges are meant to stay in one place,
Okay.
like a dorm room or an office.
Right.
But this one seems to be built for more,
Dynamic environments.
yeah, exactly.
Like a mix between a mini fridge and a heavy-duty cooler.
I see what you mean.
Could this be like a shift towards more mobile refrigeration solutions?
Maybe. It's definitely possible.
Right.
I mean, as more people are living these like nomadic lifestyles, like full-time RV living, or even just extended road trips,
Right.
the demand for appliances that can handle that is going to increase.
It makes you wonder if this kind of mini fridge will just become standard in RVs and stuff in the future.
I could see that.
Yeah.
It would be so convenient to have a secure place
Right.
for your food and drinks while you're traveling.
Especially when you're on the move.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of convenience, we've talked a lot about the practicality,
Uh-huh.
but what about the cultural implications
Oh, that's interesting.
of a lockable mini fridge?
Yeah, this could be a reflection of our changing social dynamics,
Oh, okay.
especially when it comes to personal space
Mm-hmm.
and food security in shared spaces.
What do you mean by food security?
Well, think about it like in a shared space, like a dorm room
Okay.
or an office or even a family home.
Right.
Having your own mini fridge with a lock
Mm-hmm.
lets you control your own food and drinks.
Yeah.
That's like your own little territory.
I like that.
And it prevents conflicts over shared resources,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. It's like a personal oasis.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about boundaries and personal space,
Right.
which is really important in shared environments.
Yeah, for sure. So this mini fridge could be a sign of our need for privacy and control,
Yeah, I think so.
even when it comes to something as basic as food.
It's definitely possible.
Right.
It shows how everyday objects can reflect these larger social trends.
That is fascinating. Wow, it's amazing how one little mini fridge
I know, right?
can spark such a big conversation. You know, going from tech specs to social trends, I feel like we've just scratched the surface here.
We really have. It's a good reminder that even the most ordinary objects can have these like hidden depths
Yeah,
and unexpected connections to the bigger picture.
absolutely. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, is there a key takeaway that you hope listeners will walk away with?
I think the biggest one is that innovation isn't always about making something totally new. Sometimes it's about taking something we already know,
Yeah,
like a mini fridge,
right.
and changing it to fit our changing needs.
Right. It's about understanding how people are living and working and interacting differently.
That's like you said, recognizing those little changes.
Yeah,
And this mini fridge is a great example of that.
it is.
It takes a regular appliance and adds features that people want.
Right.
Portability, personalization, sustainability.
Yeah. And it's interesting because we're always redefining what home means
That's true.
and how we create that sense of comfort and security in a world that's so mobile.
And interconnected.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe this will give someone an idea
Yeah.
and lead to some new uses for the mini fridge,
I hope so.
right? Like we could see solar-powered ones
Oh, yeah.
for off-grid living.
Or smart mini fridges that track your groceries and reorder them for you.
Wow. The possibilities are endless.
They really are. It just goes to show you that anything,
Yeah.
even something as simple as a mini fridge, can open up a whole world of new ideas.
This has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
We went from looking at product features to these big trends in tech and culture. It's incredible how much we can learn from just one object.
I agree.
It's been great exploring this with you.
Likewise.
And hopefully our listeners learned something new.
I hope so too.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time
See you then.
for another deep dive.